Alright, hello. We're back with more Conan. Hope you like more Conan, because that's what we got. I'm a little weary of DBD for the night, so I think I'll just work on getting some more stream hours. Hope everyone's having a wonderful night. Also hope I can remember where I left my follower. Be a good start if I want them to follow me. Now, if I could remember what I was trying to do at all, that would be fantastic. I'm going to do something different today. I might take one of my spider followers and train them. See how that goes for a little bit. Have hyenas in here. Have gators in here. Crocodiles. Excuse me. And I got these two guys. Let me see what I could do with them. Where can I stick these guys? I might just drop them in here for. Oh, let me put them at any other base. This base is like overrun with animal followers, and I already have 2 spiders here, and human followers. Yeah, see, that's my 2 buddies over here. I never even took them out yet. Should I try to march to one of my bases? You know what, let me teleport to one of my bases, because I know there's at least one base I haven't shown anyone yet on stream yet. Huh? Oh yeah, I was going to carry some star metal to one of my other bases too, wasn't I? Because I don't like having it all at one base. Whenever I got to repair my star metal tools, it's annoying. What do I have here? May as well carry a little bit on me. I think I'm going to head for the jungle base this time. So I have one all the way over by where you can mine the, if anyone's familiar at all with this, like that area over in the, you know, by the pirate bases where you can mine silver. They have a bunch of silver nodes. I have a base near the top of that cliff by that little passageway in there, so I don't think I've ever actually streamed from that one yet. I've shown my star metal base from the Highlands. I've shown... Actually, it was the Highlands, well, technically the Arctic part, but so that's on the very edge of it. I have my Highlands base under the aqueduct. I've got this giant monstrosity of a base under Shattered Bridge. I've shown that one off. Where's that jungle? That's Volcano Teleport, Black Keep. This is the top of the jungle area with lots of venomous creatures, and I don't want to die over there. I think this is my nearest option. over here? If I teleport to that monolith, and then I can just grab this and YOLO my way down the cliff. Ow. Alright, don't do it that way. That's better. Thank you. Go away. Shoo. Oh god, it's one of these things. No, 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 we're not doing this today. I hate those guys. They hit like a truck. Not the regular birds, but that was like one of those one skull special birds. If I go in there, I think that's where I mine the silver, but that's not really what I'm here for right now. I could also think of, I know a place where I probably have some brimstone, and with an animal follower or a mount or something, I could definitely bring some over to where I make my, where I farm the star metal meteors, because that was the only thing I was missing from that base if I wanted to make the star metal there, is that I have plenty of black ice to mine over there, I have plenty of star metal to mine over there, and I don't really have a convenient source of brimstone unless I ended up running all the way south to the to that poisonous lake, which I forget the name of it. Where was it again? Oh, the Shattered Springs, yeah. To mine those spikes coming out of the lake for the brimstone. If there's a better source around that area, I don't know of it, so that ended up being a big detour. Let me just stick these guys down here, maybe. I'm just gonna see what they look like. So one, there's two. All right, they don't really have names yet. I got it. Perfect. Alright, I'll just take one of them with me and see if I can level them up. Okay, you hang out over here. Just keep this person company. And take Elvira with me. Follow me. And let's see. So this is my jungle base. This is the only one I have on this side of the map. It's a little bonfire and some fish traps over there, and a wheel of pain down there, another one up here, so that whichever direction I'm dragging people from, I have one or the other available. This started as a little shack at the top of the cliff, and I sort of started building this platform out to have more room to spread out my followers and so on, and some of my gear. And now it's, you know, it's pretty decorative. I've got I've got got a well over here. I've got my kitty cats. Name isn't in joke for another streamer I follow, named after some of her emotes. Some hyenas and cheetahs, jaguars, leopards. I forget what these things are actually. You know what? They're kitty cats, so they've served me well. And this place ended up getting a second level and some more followers. Had to rebuild this part because a purge basically like smashed up this whole business over here, because the purge decided that it was just going to show up, like the guys were all just going to spawn right here on the roof, and I'm like, what? You know, what was the point? Like, because I've had purges before, they usually come from that direction, and like my archers just sort of mow them down, half of them, before they even get here. And if I just park myself up here with some poison arrows, it's like, you know, I can wait for them to start hitting the walls and just drop poison arrows on them, and it's a massacre every time. But then there's, you know, there was that one purge they just decided to cheat. Because the game cheats, sometimes. Not on purpose, it's just glitchy as hell. See, I've got a few of those extra stations because, you know, they moved the recipes around to other stations, so now we have all these cool things to build, but we need somewhere to build them. I have my nice radium lights up here. I like these. They give it that, you know, healthy radioactive glow there. Let's see. Yes, I did name a bunch of them after Greek goddesses. Like, if you look at all of my thrall names, welcome to the channel, Demon Grin. Nice to have you here. There's a, there was this point at which I was like, I'm going to give everyone, like, these cool tribal barbarian names, and then at a certain point I ran out of ideas, and, you know, it's pretty much just whatever pops into my head whenever I'm placing them. So that was, I had to name 5 of them, because they killed my, I forget what the original 5, I named all of them, but that purge that kind of cheated that I was just talking about, it, like, you know, basically they smashed up half my building and killed 5 of my girls, and I was a little salty about that. But I ended up getting, you know, placing more followers to, you know, try to keep that from happening again, but now I have purges off, so it doesn't matter, but it's because, you know, I got fed up with that nonsense of them just sort of spawning wherever they want to. It's like, what's the point of building all these walls if they're just going to show up on the other side of the wall? So I have this little deck over here with, you know, places to sit and just, you know, watch the river go by. And nice elevator, and I've got my, like, level 19 bird, who I should really get to level 20 sometime. Yeah, I don't know, I've heard that bug from a couple other people, that the purges stop working, like, they kind of, you can't get them to come anymore for some reason. Or that they'll, like, I mean, I've had once or twice where, like, the purge was supposed to show up and it sort of, I either got one wave or it got sort of canceled. I think it came the same time as the sandstorm, and that somehow, like, canceled it out or something. That the meter was full and it started, and then it was like, nope, you know, and it was like, oh, you've defeated the purge. I'm like, okay. But obviously, I mean, if you're trying to farm the purges for the good followers and loot and whatever, I mean, it's a little disappointing. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, given, not even admin commands could fix it. I mean, there's just so much weird stuff going on with this game. Like, it seems like every time they fix one thing, they break something else. I don't know what these guys eat. Well, they eat handful of insects and demon blood. I don't have any of that right now, though. They eat grubs. I eat this guy some grubs. Because I know I always have grubs in the compost heap. Yeah, it's as horrible as things are, it's still a damn fun game. True, I would agree with that. I mean, it's really like every single game that comes out lately, it's just AAA game development is broken. It really is. Like, you just look at the way stuff ships anymore. Like, look at what happened to Cyberpunk 2077, for example. Look at the sad example of, like, the sad state that Dead by Daylight is in these days, where, that's constantly a shit show. It's, it seems like something about the development process these days is just, it seems like they're just in permanent crunch. They don't give people time to fix anything. It's just like, shove it out the door, sell more loot boxes, buy more ads, hype everything up, get pre-orders. And there's all this, all these sort of scammy business practices. Yeah, I'm a big DBD player. I played, I think I have something like, how many hours do I have on DBD? Something like 4,000 now, and I still suck at it, to be perfectly honest. I got rank 1 survivor once in my entire life, and I decided I was never going to push for that again because it drove me up the wall. And now I'm trying to do rank 1 killer once, which is not even, it's going basically the same way. It's basically just making me want to throw my keyboard out the window. So it's not something I play to relax a lot more, and I certainly wouldn't be playing it on stream. I know and admire a lot of DBD streamers, usually mostly small streamers who kind of built their their viewer base off of it, and I'm tempted because I'm kind of want to see if I can get, make it on Twitch, or at least get to affiliate, but it might be a good way to build hours, but it's just, I see this nonsense they deal with. It's like, every time somebody doesn't like how you played, you get crazy people coming into your chat yelling at you, and because they see that you're a TTV, and they're like, and they're like, oh, why'd you teabag me, why'd you tunnel me, whatever, etc. And I feel like I don't need the drama in my life right now. And aside from which, like I said, I'm not very good at it. If someone's looking for amazing, red rank gameplay, they're not going to get it from me. Name is very familiar, and speaking of DBD, and reinforces the thought I've seen you in some chats. You might have seen me. You might have, I don't remember every single name of every DBD party I've been in, or a survivor group, or every party I had as killer. But yeah, it's certainly possible. I've been playing it a lot lately. Yeah, it's yeah, it's a fun pastime when people are behaving themselves, And honestly, you know what, not to just point the finger at other people, but I've honestly, I've been a whiny bitch lately about how, because I'm trying to get rank 1 and I can't get killer and I can't get it, and it's I'm getting tilted enough that I don't like the way it's making me feel, and I don't like the way that it's making me act in the game. That I'm I'm really playing sweaty try hard, just struggling to, not to de-pip again. And, I start, I'd like to say it doesn't bother me, but sometimes it bothers me that I'm just completely getting blown out, and I'm having a little trouble adapting to it. I used to play killer a lot, but I mostly played casual. I would just screw around and meme and not really play to win. So I don't have my hours aren't reflective of the skill that you would expect from someone who played killer for 4,000 hour DBD player who played a lot of those hours were killer. But I wasn't really trying to up my game. So. I'm trying to catch up. So I do that in short bursts, and when it starts getting on my nerves, I'm once I get tilted, I'm just going to keep losing, so I may as well just put off the next run till tomorrow. Didn't like how it felt years ago and uninstalled after Lunar New Year. Yeah. A lot of people I know have either. I know guys who were 10 times better at the game than I was that just they just uninstalled it for life, and they're just like, okay, I'm done, because, you know, I can't have one more, like, toxic interaction with people. And that's sad, because, you know, the game, I mean, as screwed up as that game is, and as screwed up as the community is, I mean, there really is nothing like it as far as asymmetrical games go. Like, I've seen a lot of games try to be DBD and fail, so I have to give them respect for that they actually created a new thing in a, you know, yeah, I mean, there's like, I'm sure everyone would love to bottle that lightning. I'm sure everyone would love to, every game developer out there would be like, love to be the next DBD, for obvious reasons. But so far, none of them have, you know, none of them have, like, managed to recapture the magic. If I just give this guy some of these, that should tide him over for a while. So at least, I'm hoping, like, with this food, at least his levels wouldn't be her levels, I guess, wouldn't be total crap, you know, once I start leveling her up here. Don't know where I want to start doing that, though. Because this is, you know, this is a baby monster, so it's going to get squashed in one shot if I take it to the wrong area. Yeah, so, I mean, DBD is what it is, you know. I mean, I think once, if I actually do get that rank 1, I mean, by the way, on my achievements, it looks like I already got it, because I don't know if you remember that glitch from around January 2019, when everyone got the rank achievements, whether they wanted them or not. Like, you know, you could get killer achievements even if you weren't playing killer. It was, that's why it looks like I already have it. I do not actually already have it. And then it started bothering me that I have an achievement that I haven't finished yet, which is pretty much the only reason I even started attempting rank 1 Survivor, which I got, I think, a couple of months ago. And now the only thing left to do is the rank 1 killer. Yeah, everyone tells me it's easy. It's like, maybe if I was like half my age and, you know, was a little bit faster and a little bit better at competitive mindset, it would be easy. Oh, wow. I forgot I had these guys in here. I had a lot of them. That's something else. Yeah, so if I want to play some more of these guys, I have a... Yeah, I went to the pirates and I bought a whole bunch of spider eggs at some point. And... Okay, I guess they all, I think it's cute, the little brain teaser of what you actually do with the eggs is, I kind of like that they put that in here. Not to spoil it for anyone who hasn't figured it out yet, but I dig that they added that little element to getting the eggs. That was actually pretty cool. It's a nice little detail in this game. Oh, I know there's a place with a bunch of imps. This shouldn't be too much of a threat. I could get them some early levels. If I remember, if I'm going the right way, and I might not be. Oh yeah, I think this is it. I don't want to go to the Snake Island yet, because those guys are a little dangerous. Yeah. The big one should drop, like... Oh, the spider eggs? I don't think I've ever found a spider egg as a drop from anything. Unless maybe that's only in Sipta or something. But I've hardly ever, getting the, what do you call it, the Sand Reapers, like getting the Sand Reaper is also, that's another little brain teaser that I love the way they implemented that. Because I remember getting one by accident and not even realizing how it got in my inventory, and then when I figured it out, I was like, oh. should use my, there's no reason to use my sacrificial dagger on these guys. I should use the meat cleaver. Could use the meat. I don't really need any more skins right now. I have more skin than I know what to do with. Oh, sorry, buddy. Oh, and I got the glands. Nice. Make some bombs later. There's a few more imps around here, and then I can just start hunting these birds. I just like to get these guys out of the way first. I mean, since they're all like one hit each at this stage, so I'm on a max level character here, so these guys aren't much of a threat. As you can see, they're not lasting very long. I love that they added that to the game too. That's like that charging attack. That was some fun stuff there. Let's see. Going pretty well so far. Let me see. Level 5. May as well have them hold all this stuff because I don't want to carry it. And they could use the food anyway. Oh, the mechanics behind the sprinting attack is you just... I mean... You just have to be running and then just press it. It doesn't matter. You press either left or right or attack. Doesn't matter. You only have one sprinting attack regardless of which weapon you have. But, you know, basically you just have to be sprinting. Like, just attack while you're sprinting. That's does what it says on the tin, pretty much. Yeah, a great many things in this game don't always register with... for some reason, unfortunately. It's a lot of stuff doesn't work the way it's supposed to, which is a shame. The thing that's annoying me the most now is just a visual bug. There's this, like when I'm climbing up certain areas, is usually when it happens. Oh, he does the web spit attack. That's cool. I was wondering if they get the special attacks. And I guess they do. Because that's really the most fun part of having, like, the Sand Reaper, for example, as a follower, is when they just do that, like, you know, that poison attack, like, spit attack on, and just, like, slam them with, like, 10 stacks of poison out of nowhere. This is indigo, but I already have a ton of this. I have so much more of this than I actually use that I don't need to grab more of it. Rhino keeps taking meat from the feed box. Yeah, I mean, they changed the way that feeding works in that they, it used to be that however many, I don't know how often they take a piece from the, like, how thralls and animal followers, like how often they take a piece from the thrall pot or the feed box, but it's like every so many minutes, and they would just take one and eat, and usually they would just eat it immediately, and now they just take one and stockpile it. So, you know, it's something like you might only want to load those sometimes, like, or keep those really loaded up during purges and stuff, because otherwise they just sort of waste the food, because it has the slow decay rate in the thrall pot, but it's not. But not once they grab it and it's in their inventory. So I think that was a little bit. They maybe should have thought that one over. I mean, they changed the way thralls eat in general now. Now they don't just like instantly eat something the second that they get a hold of it. You know, now they only use it if they need it to heal or if it has a buff that they don't have. Is how I think, was what I think it said on the wiki, if I remember. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have. I mean, if you can afford, like, usually, like, I mean, once you're running around with like this and getting, you know, with like a meat cleaver and getting tons of meat every time you slaughter something, I mean, it's not, and it doesn't take that long to cook foods either. So, you know, it's really, even if a lot of it goes to waste, it's like, so what at this rate? I think I'm running the wrong way. I want to get more birds. I don't want to run into pirates who might actually give me enough of a fight to kill my follower. I think I need to run back the other way here. I could gather up all these lotuses too, but I don't feel like it right now. I don't really make potions in this. I probably should, but I don't. Because there was a time when it was like really hard for me to, when I wasn't really any good at, I didn't know how to farm the gold or the silver, so I was just stuck with whatever amount that I happened to scrape together, and, you know, and so I didn't really have a lot of alchemical base just lying around all the time. I'd use most of it for other things like making my map room. Yeah, well, I mean, that's certainly one way to do it. Gruel is cheap. And it lasts basically forever in the thrall pot, so... Usually at most of my bases, I just have a stupid number of beehives, and I just keep throwing honey in there. So at least that's something. I don't think one honey really gives you that much healing, but I mean, at least they, you know, their inventory won't be empty. Back before I had the preservation boxes, the way that I used to save some of my special foods was I would just put them all the way, like, organizing the items in the thrall pot by custom. You know, I would just put the good stuff all the way at the bottom row of the pot, and they would just eat everything in the top rows first. And I just kept the top row, like, you know, full of other, like, fish strips or whatever before I went anywhere else. So, you know, that's one way to cheese the system if you don't have a preservation box yet. It's really one of the nice things about the thrall pots is that even if you have just started a base and have no followers, you know, at least it slows the food timer enough that you can leave stuff and then it'll be there when you come back. Don't have to use everything right away. I think... yeah, you know, I mean, a lot of stuff in the game is honestly... yeah, I mean, having fridges and this level of technology is, you know... I mean, I guess it's like, it's supposed to be semi-magical or whatever because you need black ice to make it, but, you know... but still, it's like the game... I mean, I always joke that the game, it runs on... it's like the Flintstones. Like, this game runs on Flintstones technology. You know, we have, like... I mean, the only thing that's missing is that, like, you know, we need, like... you know, they should have a car that you have to, like, run to get the car started. I think I'm going to go up there and cook some of this stuff into... I have enough that I could make a lot of mixed meat scraps or whatever this was, whatever that recipe is. I end up using that one a lot just because I don't know what to do with all this meat anymore. I only have 2 fridges at this place, and they're both full of better foods that I don't want to just use up for nothing. I like that they added the Zath to the exiled land, so I could get this outfit and all the Zath stuff. Should really grab a canteen from up here. I was using a stack of iced tea, but it's almost gone. Throw these heads in the fluid press. Where's my follower? Hello? Oh, hey, bud. Hey, Elvira, how you doing? There we go. Just gonna throw that back in there. Alright. Meaty mashup, that's what it's called. It's not a terrible recipe, but there are better ones. Some of this I might just cook before it goes bad. I don't really do anything with exquisite meat. I don't know why I have it sometimes. Now, if I had berries up here, I could make something else, but I don't. Yeah, I could make one of these things. I've really over-stockpiled this to the point of absurdity, though. My horde food, don't want it to spoil, nor do I know when I'll need it, so I almost always stays in the fridge. Yeah, I've had, I mean, especially since I've stopped doing the really difficult content, you know, where you kind of really need the best foods. I mean, I've turned off Sandstorm, I've turned off Purges, I've done most of the things where you need to finish a dungeon to get a recipe or something. You know, I've finished that. I finished most of the main quest stuff. Like, I have the keystone, I just haven't used it. The only two things I have left on Journey are the Mummy of the Ring thing, which you can't do without console commands, apparently, because they somehow forgot to implement a major part of the main quest. Because that's how they develop games now. That's just... It's like, oh, well, why would we bother actually finishing the game? Why would you ever do that? Yeah, so... But... Anyway... And the other one is Escape the Exiled Lands, which ends the game. That basically just means go to my, you know, go get my keystone out of my vault and use it, and that would be the end of that. But, you know, having too much fun with all my bases and stuff to want to just wipe it all out. This is the thing that, like, tempts me to turn Purges back on, even though they were annoying me. It's just I have all this stuff and nothing to do with it, really. You know, you basically have to go looking for trouble just to find excuses to use this stuff now. I get some of these bugs, I gotta remember to give them to the to my pet over here. And they apparently eat glowing essence. Do I have any glowing essence? I don't have anything to make glowing essence either. Oh well. I could go and try and mine some silver. Give this area a shot. Since I'm going to be stuck here for a while waiting for that food to cook. See if I can avoid aggroing the other ones. Should be able to get lots of human flesh down here. Okay. Why am I missing him somehow? Okay. Yeah, purges... Yeah, if the purges weren't so buggy, they would be my favorite part of the game. I mean, they really were until I started getting the ones that I just, you know, that seemed to be breaking the rules. That, you know, that got on my nerves a little quickly. You know, I have absolutely no problem with them being, like, a real, like, a big threat as long as they're not just doing weird things like just teleporting over my base. Because, you know, I can deal with losing followers and stuff because they were just too strong. You know, because the enemy was, like, the purge was just too dangerous. But, you know, losing them because, like, oh, well, my followers would have been on the roof would have been fine, but they started on the roof, even though there's no way they can get up there. You know, that's when I start not enjoying it anymore. Then it's not fun anymore. Let me put this so I can see where these, can't even see the bodies I'm harvesting here because I forgot to put my torch on. And I'll take all that. That too. Nope, nope, nope. Wrong button.
Ahoy there!
Ahoy there!
One last look at the soul was all I wanted.
Well, that wasn't brilliant on my part, just standing there while guys coming up behind me. Yeah, build out in the open and don't wall off. Well, I mean, I kind of wanted to do the really ornate buildings that, like, you know, actually look like castles or whatever. It's... I mean, I like my stuff to be decorative also, and the problem is that, like, I've seen what the... Like, I've looked at YouTube videos of, like, the unpurgeable bases and stuff where, you know... Basically, if you build your stuff a certain way, they just can't do shit to you. But I mean, it looks like, you know, it looks really unnatural because it's obviously built to kind of exploit the way the game works. You know, if you're building it around exploiting the game logic, it's not really going to be very pretty or very interesting. Is there nobody down here? I guess they all came up to fight me. Alright, well, see how much silver I get out of this. Yeah. I'm over encumbered, I don't care. That didn't take long. Yeah, like the archers on pillars is the dumbest part of it as far as like, you know, like I saw that and I'm like, yeah, I mean if that's what I have to do, then I'd rather not. Uh-oh, it's a bear. And I've got, oh wow, I am botching everything right now. Come on. 3 bleed stacks already? Wow. I better hit it. I better throw it. Oh no. This could be a problem. I have to at least try to bandage or else I'm gonna die. Sorry for that. I have to put my torch away to do it. I hope my little spider dudette here can take her, because otherwise I'm screwed. Can I just drop these rocks? Why don't I just drop these rocks? Get over here. What are you doing? Leave my pet alone. Jerk. You know, you're just trying to mine somebody's silver and they get all upset about it. Here, let me give you some... I'm sure teaching my followers to love the taste of human flesh, I'm sure that's perfectly reasonable and will never come back to bite me in the ass. So, I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Yeah, you know, Undead Necropolis would be kind of a cool theme for a base. But I definitely... Yeah, it ties up the alchemy bench for fucking ever to make one of them. And you have to farm the... I mean, if there's any way to make the corrupting powder, I never found it, so you gotta farm corrupting powder from the Darfari. And that also takes for fucking ever. And I could do without the whole deal. Yeah, well, that's... Well, if you're trying to make the human undead, yeah, because you have to put fragments of power into them, and fuck that, frankly. The only ones that I make a lot of... Like, I've had a few of the human ones, but the ones I make mostly are the ones that, like, the undead skeletal serpent men, skeletal serpent men, excuse me, undead hyenas, and I think those undead turtle guys. Those I've made a fair number of. Just get some more rocks. I could just drop the rocks. Alright, I have enough silver. I should be able to make a decent number of about 33 silver bars out of this, so this is a pretty good haul. And what level are you, my friend? 7. Not too bad. Not too shabby for a day's work. I could go all the way down there to the other exit and whack a couple of more guys, but I think I've done enough damage here. Go back to my base. I love this area. I mean, I love a lot of the areas in this game, but this is like one of my all-time favorites. Like the rain effect and the music and everything. It's just, you know, mwah. It's beautiful. Hats off to them. All the other stuff they screwed up, I could forgive a lot for just how much fun I have with like some of the areas in this game. Okay, what have I got here? It made force stable. It got ridiculously lucky with 2 whites and a Legion Warrior. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I never got the white, but I got the Silent Legion guy, I think. But unfortunately, I took him into the, he did pretty well for a while. I took him into the Warmaker Sanctuary, and he did all right for a while, but he got punked by the arena champion. So that was like, I mean, he helped a lot with everything else, but that was just a little bit too much for him to bear. So, you know, at least he died with his boots on. Wow, I got a Legion Warrior. Immediately dies. 6 hours for that. Yeah, that's balanced. I think we did a pretty good job so far. Wonder what's in here. Alchemical base and crystals. Nice find. I like both of those things. I don't really want to keep the alchemical base here because I have much more use for it elsewhere. But I'll hang on to that. Actually, you'll hang on to that. Thank you very much. Yeah, farming those bearers, like, if you find enough of them, it's really, if you're looking for certain things like alchemical base, it's really a really nice find if you get one that's carrying it. It can be a real windfall. I don't know why I'm carrying these around. Let me throw them in the grinder. I'm going to use these eggs over here, so I might carry these with me until I go to another base where I have berries and stuff to make those, you know, those feast meals like Savory Feast and Exotic Feast. That's usually a better use of that material, so I've got plenty of food on me here. Just scattering everything around to the workstations where you would actually... Oh, and they still do this, like, this still happens on a regular basis. That's another thing they never ironed out. It's like every now and then you'll find one of these people at a station just T-posing like this, and you just gotta take them out and put them back in. There you go. Yeah, it's always a classic. Throw these in here. I don't know, I think for a long time I was using, I don't know why I have so many skins. I think I was just I was using the skinning knife a lot more than the meat cleaver for some reason, probably because I had more meat than I knew what to do with. And now I'm just, you know, I have like an entire chest of just like alligator skins and stuff over there, and I don't know what to do with any of it. Like, that's more leather and whatever than I would ever find a use for in, like, you know, the next, like, 100 hours of this game. Fill those, because there's no point in having them empty. They're basically useless empty. Let me see what we got here. I could make some of these and then make a couple of more explodey orbs. Better than nothing. Get that stuff. So I would guess from, like, the way you talk about the game, you've definitely been doing it a long time. Like, you've been playing this probably at least a couple of years, I would think. I don't know if you remember, like, the pre... Like, before the whole crafting rebalance and stuff back when... Like, I started back when, you know, the fish traps just gave you fish for nothing, and all this, you know, stone consolidant was different, and a lot of, you know, before they changed, added all the new workstations and changed a whole bunch of stuff. Since the last time I played, it seems Thralls got hit hard with a nerf. I used to see 14k hit points, tier 4 Thralls, but now only see 7k or so. They probably... I don't think anything in this game should have 14k, so I mean, they probably nerfed the growth rate on their stats, I would guess, or on their health growth rate. I think the leveled Thralls, like, a lot of people have mixed feelings about that, because it seems like, you know, your success in combat depends so heavily on Thralls now, and that a lot of people don't think that was an improvement. I don't really play, like, serious PvP or with guilds or anything, though, so I mean, you know, that's all, it's mostly academic to me. Mostly it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, I mean, they, yeah. Dalencia and Leonil, yeah. Got hit hard, but they're still OP, yeah. Well, PvP is a whole other thing that, like, I don't really play on the public servers because I just hear that there's too much nonsense going on. Like, you know, too much hacking, too much griefing. It seems like they have kind of a bad reputation for that. And I think that would suck the fun out of the game really fast for me. PvP is not my cup of iced herbal tea. Yeah, granted. I mean, same here. Yeah, I could definitely do without the PvP experience. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I mean, it looks cool in the videos when they show, you know, all the... I mean, the whole idea of, like, you know, the siege engines and the bombs and all this crazy, you know, your like, anti-climbing defenses and stuff, and, you know, it looks wacky, but I don't know if I would put up with all of, you know, all the stuff you got to put up with to do serious PvP. It's just a shame PvP tweaks affect single. Yes, actually, that drove me completely batty about a year ago, I think, when, or was it earlier this year? Well, like, whenever they started doing all the economy updates and stuff, like, where they changed, you know, like, they changed a lot of the crafting stuff, because just, like, almost everything, all the major changes, it seems like, yeah, it's single player and co-op, yeah, because they've, almost all the changes to, like, make certain things harder to get, and this was back when I hadn't even finished the journey yet, you know, and suddenly, you know, first they do it's like, okay, dodge rolls are nerfed, then it's like hardened steel takes black ice now, then they did the whole massive overhaul where it's like, well, stone consolidant doesn't work the same way, fish traps don't work the same way, now you need twice as many stations to build things, you know, and, you know, it's felt like everything that I was like, I was trying to learn the game, and it felt like chasing a moving target, because every time I thought that I was like, okay, I've got the game more or less figured out now, and then another update would just blow up everything. I just didn't know where to start after a certain point. I have the pirate recipes, but I don't really make them that much. I'll just throw that stuff over there for... Don't know, because I don't know what to do with it. Maybe I should leave some of this here, because otherwise I have, like, nothing to rebuild my axes and stuff with when they get worn out. Kind of forgot where I put everything in this space. I don't use it a lot anymore. I should, because it's really one of my favorite areas, but the only thing that I have left to do around this part of the game that I'm aware of is that Dagon Shrine dungeon area. It kicks my ass every time, though, because there's some parts of it that I'm pretty sure I will never be able to solo, just because I'm not, I'm just not OP enough. The only thing I want to do is maybe farm some of those guys in the Dagon Shrine to get more pearls, because I have the gold sword, but I haven't got the shield that goes with it, which is also 100 pearls. Sunken shitty. Yeah, that sums it up. Yeah, it's a pain. I went down there with a really beefy follower, and I managed to kill most of the little mini bosses in the different underwater areas. But if I get to that part with like the prison, or like where you go down the stairs and then there's that one room which is basically every other mini boss in the same room, and they expect you to fight the main boss, I don't think I can ever do that. I think that one I'm just gonna have to, yeah. Looking for ways to level thralls in that place was recommended. Oh yikes! I can only imagine. I am so sorry, because that must have been a miserable experience. Because that place will, yeah, that place eats thralls alive, basically. I'm pretty sure I lost at least one. I lost a couple of good followers down there. I had, like, I think a level, really high level, like Greater Crocodile or something, that I died, like, fighting one of the bosses, and by the time I got back it was too late. So I wasn't terribly happy about that. I know that I'm going to figure out what I wanted to get rid of as soon as I step away from here. Oh yeah, my iron head arrows. Wow, this station is actually full. Alright. Maybe I should do something with all this crap. You know what? I think sometime when I come back, not right now, but when I come back to this base some other time, I might even expand it. I might try making it a bigger base. Because I have so many resources here, and I feel like, I'm not putting them to the best use. Stuff around. I don't know why I'm doing this. Alright. Let me actually maybe... I'll take my little spider friend to Sunken City and see if we can hack it over there. This is either going to be really great or really terrible. But what I definitely should take is I should take some... could you please move? I used to, I started making all of my bases with double doorways because I got tired of them just blocking me in, but every now and then there's still some bases where I have, choke points where these guys just keep, wow, really? Yeah, they're just constantly underfoot. My biggest issue is thralls actually showing up when entering the different sections, and rescue and single player should not punish you. Agreed. Yeah. I don't think rescue should even... I mean, given if thralls are going to continue falling through the floor, and they're just not... and animal followers are going to do the same thing, and they're just going to keep not addressing it, then they should just let us recover them. Like, it already has a very long cooldown that you're not really going to exploit it. I don't see, at very least in single player, it shouldn't cost you anything. You should just get your guy back with all the equipment. I think they were just really overly paranoid about, creating yet another exploit when you still have people undermeshing and whatever. But if they're not going to fix the physics so that stops happening, then I don't know why they're punishing us for that. They seem to be focusing on the wrong problems. Alright. Oh yeah, there was a whole reason I was going in there, and I forgot while I was rambling about the game. I wanted to go grab some poisons and some healing potions, and I know I have some stuff stockpiled in here. Actually, I might need these. I don't know if I want to waste... am I going to need Violet Curative? I don't think there's anything poisonous down there that I remember. I might just leave that up here for now. YOLO! Speaking of doorways, I like using inverted sloping walls to make open-air entrances. That's a nice idea, actually. I should try that next time. Looks rather appealing to the eyes as well as preventing blockage. Alright, I'll keep that in mind next time I'm trying to design something. There's a lot of elements I hardly ever even unlock because I just ended up, like, I remember unlocking drawbridges once. I think I still have a drawbridge stashed in one of my chests or something, but I remember finally making a drawbridge, and I looked at all these different places at every one of, every base that I had, and I was like, I don't know where I'm going to put this thing because there's no place that it's actually helpful. Because I don't have any bases that have, like, a convenient little gap to bridge over. So everywhere that I wanted to build one, it seemed like there was just no point for it. I might revisit that at some time. But I hardly ever, like, I usually, like, right now I don't think I even have sloped roofs unlocked because of, I just hardly ever use them. And I have also found out that, like, I've read somewhere, I think on the forums, that they said if your base has a sloped roof instead of a flat roof, you don't get that problem with them just teleporting up there or purges starting up there because they won't put them on a sloped surface. And if I knew that, I probably would have built a lot of things differently. Because that would have saved me a lot of grief if that actually, I don't know if they're correct, but if that actually works like that. They just said it worked for them, so I mean, maybe it works and maybe it doesn't, but I don't know why I have these in here. I'm just going to throw that in here for now. I don't really need to fight every one of these along the way, but I'd like to level this follower a little bit. I think I have poisonous arrows on me because I want to use those when I get to the sunken city. I like to use that on some of the enemies there. Just before I forget, I'm going to put this here and that there in case things start going badly. I used a drawbridge once on a build where I made a foundation basement and the entrance used it to connect to a platform. But for natural gaps, I've yet to find a spot myself. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I just construct something, like if I just put foundations to sort of make an artificial trench, I'm sure I could. There's a couple of places I could do that, but there's no place, I don't think, where it really makes any sense for most of my bases. Because it's not like I have... Like, up there in that jungle base, if I built it differently, I could use the drawbridge for the top side so that there's just only one way in and out. And that just once I pull the drawbridge up, nobody can get there from the top. But that's not the way I ended up building it, so I don't really want to tear the whole thing apart and redo it just for that. This is also a nice place to get those puffball mushrooms, but I don't want to stop and farm those right now. I could farm all the stuff around here all day, but I just want to get to the boat. And hopefully, maybe, possibly, actually get my follower through this without dying. If I'm very careful what I pick fights with. Well, I think it would register as unreachable, causing the purge to spawn in your base. Yeah, that's possible too. That's a good point. I mean, the logic of that is still perplexing to me, though, because they have all these defenses we can build that it's obviously meant to make your base harder to reach. But I guess you just have to leave at least one path, or else the game kind of thinks you're cheating or something. So, it's, you know, it's kind of like they want you to be clever, but not too clever. I've got all the recipes from this area, but most of them I got by, like, running in there real fast, touching the tablet, and then running for my life, because so many of these guys can kill me so easily. I really should have brought my heavy armor here, too. I shouldn't have my, like, waifu armor on. I could see this all going bad in a heartbeat. Do I have daggers? I have, yeah. Where's my daggers? Because I think I'm going to need them. Where did I... Am I looking past them, or are they not in my inventory? Oh, I don't know what I do with my daggers. If I don't have that, I shouldn't even be here. Where the hell did I leave my Tyrannian daggers? I hope I didn't drop them somewhere in the middle of nowhere because I was trying to drop weight or something, but I mean, it could be, they could be anywhere. I was running around 4 different bases the other day. That's disappointing. Man. I should really have checked that, because I don't want to fight any of these guys without being able to do bleed stacks. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do this half-assed and get my follower killed. Sorry, I gotta get out of here. It's another very beautiful area, but it's not so beautiful that I want my follower to die here. Wish there were thralls usable ballista for purge defense. Oh yeah, yeah, that would be pretty neat. I already have this recipe too. That's gonna bother me all day now, because I knew that I had those daggers in my inventory, and I don't know where they went. Oh wait, did I give that to my follower? I think I might have. No, she has the gold sword. The follower I was using last time. Let me just get back to, let me just go this way and get back to my base. This is a long trip for nothing. Alright, we're out of here. Actually, I am gonna see. I always forget to set them to do that. I don't want them just attacking anything. I would rather wait until they, Yeah, we used to fashion this so I can have my good armor look like waifu armor. See, I should maybe consider installing that, but I'm afraid that then I would just, like, never use, I mean, some of the heavy armors do look cool, so I'm afraid I would, like, never see them again if I use that, because then everything would just be like this armor. I do like having a little variety. Sun's coming up. I can put that away now. Where am I? Alright, I'm going the right way. I'm gonna feel really stupid if I left my daggers in the refrigerator or something like that. That would be entirely too realistic. I'm a transmog fanatic. I mean, pretty much same here. I remember back when I used to play Spiral Knights all the time. I had all the... Like, I had something like 100 cosmetic armors on that, because that was an obsession for a while. I think I have... I more or less quit that. I'm kind of semi-retired since around 4,000 and something hours, and I still managed to pass 5,000 hours on it. It's still my most played game on Steam, which is not reflective of, I mean, now I'm more or less, I log in now and then just to see if the game is still there, but that's about all I do with it now. But I had some, had my character tricked out with some really good looking gear, so. Stop. I'm just trying to go home. There we go. Crying out loud. It's like everything's just biting my ankles. I do love the vanity cam in this. It's so cool. I hate that Funcom's idea of a salamander is an iguana. Yeah, I don't know how that works either. I'll have to take their word for it on that one. That's what, you know, that's what a salamander should look like. I have salamanders at my base. I have two of them back at my main base by the starting river. I have Sally the salamander and Sal the salamander because I'm really creative with names. But, you know, they're a cute couple. They're very happy together. I never take them anywhere. Over 9,000. Yeah. Yes, I've given out at least 100 stupid names since last Thursday. While this is cooking, I'm going to search my base and try to see if I can... What am I doing? I didn't select a recipe yet. Genius. Also left this here and forgot it existed. That was another great move. I think maybe next time I get a hold of the materials, I should just find a place to slap a couple of more fridges in here, maybe upstairs. I just gotta remember to bring ice with me, because they don't really do anything useful without ice. They used to be, I read about the way that they, I mean, I think they had already changed it by the time that I actually started making fridges in this, but fridges used to suck. they weren't all that effective. That it's, if I remember, I mean, from reading the wiki, it seems like you put ice in them, and the ice and everything else would have, like, maybe it was a tenfold reduction in the decay rate, which is kind of like what Thrallpot does now. So I can only imagine if, you know, I don't know if Thrallpot was better or worse, but to go through all that trouble and constantly have to put more ice in it and whatever, that seems like much more of a pain in the ass than it was actually worth. Search all inventory mod tells you where something you're looking for is in your containers. Yeah, I could use that right now. I could use that in real life, for that matter. There are definitely days that I can't find my ass with both hands on a flashlight. Now, I did say I was going to search every one of these containers and figure out what I did. It's not looking great so far. Didn't leave it in there. Didn't leave it in here. I hope I didn't throw it in there. Well, no, there would be metal bars in there if I did. it is a mystery. I think I left them at... Might have left them at my home base. I might have been repairing them or something and forgot to take them back off the blacksmith bench. If they don't turn up, obviously I could just make more. I'm not so hard for materials that I can't make more of them. It's just a little bit embarrassing to go run all the way over there where I knew I was going to need daggers and I don't have any. Before I lose this entire stack of eggs, let me just... I don't need to have all these in here. Yeah, it is definitely a mystery what I did here. I should have checked my inventory before I came all the way from Shattered Bridge. Well, since I already did the silver mining I wanted to do, and I don't have a lot of other stuff to do around here, I'm probably going to head back. It's a long way from here, though. And I might actually want to leave all my cool potions and stuff here for when I do come back. Because I am going to Sunken City again, just not right now. Next time I load up Exiles, I'll probably be starting my second base in the Highlands. Oh, pretty cool. I have a Highlands base right now under the aqueduct, like by where that the broken aqueduct makes that little waterfall. That was a fun area. That base got hit with some really mean purges on occasion, though. So I had to... That was like after the last one where I fought off a, you know, a lot of warriors and a lot of dire wolves and stuff, and I got very lucky and didn't really lose too many. All I lost were like a couple of crocodiles, basically. I decided that, you know, I was going to quit while I was ahead, and that's when I decided to disable purges. Because if I went through all that and then just had a whole bunch of them, you know, like clipped through the roof or whatever, then that would have been, yeah, that wouldn't have been fun anymore. Let's see. What's the nearest base I could reach from here without too much aggravation? See, I've actually tried to go from here straight to my Highlands base over here, but this whole area here is murder, and I've lost more than one follower trying to make that route directly. I might actually want to go over by, like, straight this way and then maybe follow the river up, or maybe just go back to here and just teleport to the other one, because I have a map room here and a map room here. I'll be building near Sanctuary Ruins Lake and have an elevator that drops down to the Savannah area. Nice. Good choice. I have a weird, like by my base by the aqueduct, I have a weird little, I managed to make an elevator up to a little shack up on top of the aqueduct, so I can go directly from the aqueduct to the, to like the lake level, like down, well actually the lake is at the top of the aqueducts, but I could go, I run it, well, maybe I'll show you when I get over there, actually. I should be able to make it there in not too much time, I hope. Just make sure I'm not leaving food rotting out here. I'm just gonna grab this and take it with me. I don't know what else to do with it. Alright, I think that does it for this area right now. Squish. Leave my other follower here for now, they're safe. Planning a treehouse base in the jungles since I have debauchery. Yeah, that was the first DLC I shelled out money for. That was the first one I invested in, because that adds a lot of really fun cosmetic stuff, some fun emotes, some fun outfits, war paints. I mean, it's really nice for role-playing aspects. I made a lot of those bejeweled, like, you know, those bikini armor things, like the bejeweled chains, bejeweled loincloth, stuff like that. I made that whole set a lot. That was basically the thing that motivated me to find out how do I get gold bars in this game easier, because I just wanted to, I was putting those on all of my thralls, like my best thralls for a while. Yes. Yeah, most OP armor in the game, plus 11 to sexy. I used to keep that, I used to carry one of those on me just so I could, like, swap out of heavy armor for climbing, although now that sort of, I think they changed the way encumbrance and climbing and stamina and everything works again, so now it's not really, that's not really relevant, because if I put my heavy armor into my inventory, I'm still going to be highly encumbered, so. But that was, you know, that was a fun outfit for just running around my base, doing base management, and, you know, going to relatively safe areas to do farming runs. And the agility bonus is nice because then you can do the jump without using stamina thing. So I could just bunny hop everywhere. I guess we're doing this. Boop. Pop, pop. My followers doing pretty well for themselves here. If I had any memory of which way I was going, that would be fantastic. Yeah, it's like evil chocobos. Work, work. If you get one of these as a mount, that would be hilarious. Then they would probably get sued by Squaresoft. Have I ever been up there? I've probably been everywhere on this part of the map. Oh, Pitfall Pass. I've definitely been here. this. Zip. Oh crap, what the... Oh, that's a possessed, isn't it? That doesn't look like a mama turtle, that looks like a possessed turtle. I don't know, should I risk it? These guys aren't that much trouble now at my level, but... Well... I'm gonna go for it. See if I can kite them over here, maybe. Get dunked on. Nope. Nice. That worked out pretty well. Like a demon bat mount, please, so I can fly around the map faster, Funcom, please. Thank you. Yeah. I was talking the other night, but somebody said that what would be really fantastic for this game is have a glider, like in Breath of the Wild, like in the Zelda games. That would be amazing. You know, just like jump off one of the tall cliffs and go and, you know, just glide across a canyon or something. Of course, in PvP, that would be ridiculous. Oh, I forgot this guy is here. Yeah, I think I fought that guy once, and once was enough. Not doing that again. If I go this way, I think I can just run along the beach. I can follow the river back to my main base. I don't suppose you've seen my main base since you came into the channel, because I think I teleported out of there pretty early on in this particular stream. So I don't know if you even got a look at it yet. A demon batwing suit, yeah. I am the terror that flaps in the night. Could be like Hyborian Age Darkwing Duck. Alright. Ah, okay, here's some other, I forgot that I have some other bases around here. Actually, this is where I wanted to grab a bunch of brimstone at one point. My base is not this little shack over here, but I know that, I forget when I planted this thing here for who knows what reason. But I know that directly across the river from that, I think one of the main reasons I put this here was to, point to my... Well, this was before I had the other base, but I remember I put this here, and then over there, yeah, on that side, I started a big old base over there. And this kind of... If I'm running on this side of the river, this kind of points me to it, because I know when I get here, this is where I swim across. Did I leave anything in here? No. Yeah, this is nothing but just, you know, it's highly visible from a distance, but that's about the only nice thing you can say about it. All my cool shit is over here. Eternal torches, yeah. Yeah, it's funny how they only run out when you're holding them, and then you just put them on a stick, and, you know, that steak is going to rot in 3 seconds. Yeah, exactly. The game is very selective about what, you know, the forces of entropy apply to. I don't think that fight involves us. I think that's the turtles beating up a crocodile. Got some friends over here. Hi, ladies. Yes, I remember having a ton of brimstone here. Of course, this fridge is full too. What did I aggro? I hope they got this. Yeah, maybe attacking my base in front of a pile of crocodiles and 3 armed women was not their best move there, buddy. I see my thralls are doing this thing where they just let themselves off the roof again. That's why I liked Ark. It kept everything balanced in the sense of decay. Yeah, I mean, I hear that this is basically, like, the description I've heard from a lot of people is that this is basically Ark but Conan. But, you know, it's very, the games have they have a lot of similarities in terms of design. I know I didn't leave my daggers here because I haven't been here today, but just want to look around to see what I left here. I need to get back to I need to get back to my main base where I have some storage I could dump this in. Okay, so is my spider getting attacked? Or no, this is just usual chaos going on here. I'd like to know where my follower is. There she is. Just want to see if she has enough storage space that I could throw some brimstone on her. I might just want to take these couple of stacks here. There's a one skull turtle boss over there that I can get exotic meat from whenever I want to, so I farm that one for exotic meat a lot, because I don't fight a lot of other enemies that drop it on my usual day-to-day routine. I have tons of brimstone here because that cave that you can there's that spider cave up there that I have a row of torches leading my way back up to. That's where I farmed most of my brimstone for most of the game. So that's why part of the reason I built this base was just having somewhere to dump it, honestly, so I wouldn't have to run as far on farming runs. I would at least, you know, every time I did that cave, I had to find something to do with all the brimstone. I get mine from unnamed. There's brimstone in Unnamed City? I honestly don't know where. I must have missed it. Oh, exotic flesh. Oh, got it. Yeah. Is that from dragons? Because I still have a little bit of trouble with dragons. I don't know if that's from the dragons or from the bad things. Oh, the dragons, yeah. Yeah, I've done. I mean, I've done the. You know, I'm kind of glad I did some of the journey steps before they beefed up the enemies and so on, because I think if I was trying to do the undead dragon and stuff now, I would probably get smoked pretty fast. I'm definitely, like, a lot of people were saying just, well, the combat is too easy in the game, and it's like, yeah, but I'm not, like, coming to this from Dark Souls or anything. This is more or less, like, my first attempt at this type of game. So, plans to tackle the Undead Dragon soon. Yeah, if you have really tough followers or friends to come help you, that would be amazing, because that thing is no pushover. At least not in my experience. I'm sure somebody out there has probably killed it with stone daggers or something for YouTube, but you know, I'm not at that level of skill. Let me dump the feathers in here because I don't know why I'm carrying all these around. A lot of this stuff I'm just have here because I don't feel like throwing it out. I have a definite hoarding problem in this game, although I guess this is, if you're going to have a hoarding problem, this is the genre of game to have it in, because here it's actually kind of rewarded. Stargazer camp get nice drops while farming. I have a camp I eventually beeline to that gets me the strongest thralls. Oh, yeah. Stargazer camp, alright. Yeah, I'm mostly, like, most of my thralls I never even level up. They're almost just there for decoration. So I'm not really worried that much about where the top tier one. I did go for I got Sumerian Berserker from over in the swamp, just to have one of them. I remember for me that being a relatively tough fight to knock one out. That wasn't like I had a couple of failed attempts at that one. I'm not passing out here. I'm just thinking really hard. Yeah, Sumerian Berserkers. I haven't leveled her yet, but she looks like she's going to be amazing when I get around to that. I just hope I don't like manage to get her killed by possessed at level 1 or something, but fortunately with those that's a little harder for that to happen. So they're not as squishy to begin with. Alright, before any more of this stuff rots, I'm going to try and run back to my base. So this is my little brimstone camp over here. There's a ton of turtles, turtle nests where I can, if I ever want to, a few crocodiles, mostly turtles. If I want to farm this whole area, if I want to farm eggs and meat, I can just slay this entire area and then, you know, go home fully loaded. On top of that one over there that I mentioned for the exotic flesh. I've got a bunch of crocodiles here who, actually, you know what I could do with some of this? I could just just going to throw this in their containers. There we go. I don't think I made beehives here yet either. Actually, I could put some of this in the... I don't have anything in my thrall pots either, so I'll just throw this in here. Why not? I know that meaty mashup is one of their special foods for the crocodiles, so I'm sure they'll appreciate that. I wish we could re-roll their perks, although some pain in the ass potion we had to craft from rare drops. Yeah, if there was a respec potion for thralls, that would be a nice addition, wouldn't it? Got a greater croc I want to level. Yeah, I remember one of my thralls, like I think the first one I actually bothered giving a name to, who was dead with, I don't even have a screenshot of her with her name because she's died at like a minute after I named her. I took her to try to level her up and she like hit a one skull direwolf and died instantly. But yeah, it's like she had the ultimate warrior perk from like level well, she wasn't... Well, actually, if she had a perk, she wasn't that low level. I think she was 10, but somehow she was still squishy enough that she died really fast to a boss creature. So... I remember being really salty about that. That, like, made me put the game aside for a few days because I kind of felt cheated over that one. I don't know what these baby deer are good for. Are these actually even any use as followers, or are these just like meat with legs here? I don't know if you can actually raise one. I never tried. I feel bad bothering him, you know, he's just living his best life there. Yeah, the wolves are... The wolves were like the bane of my existence for a while when I got to the Highlands, until I got tough enough to handle them. Hyenas I could smack around all day. The wolves are a whole different story. And even then, like now and then, I'll run into a possessed hyena that's, you know, when I'm not paying attention. Or worse, I'll run into two of them. I remember I died to like two hyena spawns, both turned out to be possessed at the same time because the game just doesn't care about that. If they both happen to hit the percentage, then that's what you're getting. I don't even feel like stopping to fight these guys. Not even interested. See if my follower will come here instead of staying there to fight them. You gonna come over here, buddy? Come on. Follow me. Wow, they're fast. You know, this is one that I don't have to worry that if it can keep up with me. Because sometimes I'm sprinting along and I turn around and left my follower in the dust. This one actually keeps up. I might use these a lot more. I've had double corrupted Kappas take me out in the Long Island in the center of New River. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, sometimes the RNG gods just decide they have it in for you that day, and you know, you're just gonna have a bad time. I definitely know that experience in this game. What's really a pain is when that happens when you have like a tiny base that you're not really established yet, and then they, you know, they show up nearby and chase you over your base and just start smacking the walls down and whatever. I think I had one of them like chase me back to my like baby base when I was first building that thing by the river, and I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? Because I'm sitting there with my stone warhammer, like, okay, good luck. I eventually took that thing down by cheesing it to death with arrows, but it was that was a real struggle for a little bit there. I don't feel like fighting everything along this river, so I'm just gonna sprint. I found some really good thralls along here. I think I found Sink the Pillow Dancer in one of these camps along here. I can't remember which one, although I managed to get her killed in a purge, so that was unfortunate. She was one of my favorites. I have to go see if I can find her again. That's what happened. I was building on the island near the exile camp on one of my first waves, and shortly after got crushed by the possessed Ninja Turtles. Jesus. Yeah, that's where a lot of people basically... That's what you... I think that's the kind of experience that, you will either fall in love with the game or you'll uninstall the game at that point. Wow, speak of the devil, look what we have here. Because I see another one. I think that one over there is the same thing. Alright, I guess we're doing this. Please queue in an orderly fashion so I can line up to be killed. Ha. Your giant turtle fists are meaningless to me. Okay, actually they're not that meaningless. I'm half dead now. Okay, you just wait over there, buddy. I got your number. I'll see you in a minute as soon as I tuck my guts back in. At this point, I could almost face tank one of these, but not quite. Don't want to push my luck too far. Nice try. Well, that was... Well, this was a nice little potion of bestial memory. Nice little surprise. Didn't get anything from that special from that one, though. I think this is the first NPC I found.
Another new one, eh? In the beginning, there were only a few of us. Now, it seems like fresh-faced fools are showing up every week. Not all of them are as friendly as I am, Budgie. Watch your step. A lot of desperate people out there.
Well, I seem to be doing pretty well as far as health right now. I'm just going to ignore this guy. Go away. I mean, if they're just going to leave these eggs right here, I'll take them. So I'm approaching my main base. I mean, I'm sure you know where Shattered Bridge is, because it's a major landmark. And I can't see who that was, but thank you.
Down, please.
thank you very much for the follow, I think that was. Welcome to the channel. I have my, I do not have a stream monitor, so I do not, I heard the alert sound, but I did not, I can't, you know, well, I know it can't be a sub because I'm not affiliate, but, I don't see the, you know, I'm assuming that was a follow, but I didn't see the follow name. Shadowbridge is one of the first places I discovered because I have an emote path I follow on new characters to collect a bunch of the emotes. Right. Yeah, I know that one of the emotes is there. A lot of them are around this early area. You know, one thing that bugs me a little bit is that I found all of Rosma's journals, except there's one I'm missing because I found it early on and I must have died in the middle of nowhere with it in my inventory and never got my inventory back. And apparently those do not respawn. Why, I don't know, but, okay, here's my giant, like, this is my, apartment building that I made. Like, this is, like, the last thing I added to my, yeah, I actually made an apartment building. It's, that was the thing that happened. But yeah, this is, like, my main base of operations. It didn't start out this way, though. It started out as my little shack over here to stick my bed in, which I don't even really use this part anymore. And then I built that up into a little tower with a little, like, bedroom that I could only access through the, you know, through the trapdoor, which I figured would be relatively secure if I had to go hide somewhere until something went away. Do I even have enough storage for this? Let me see if that fridge down there has anything in it. Oh, it's full of berries. Okay, well, I know I have another fridge I'm not using up here somewhere. That I know there was one I just checked recently that was empty. Okay. I should be able to slap some of this stuff in here before it starts going bad. Throw those in there. Now these two, I guess, and I don't need to be carrying this much of this stuff. It's useful, but I don't have to have that much of it on me right at this moment. That in there. Yeah, so this, yeah, I started with that over there, and then I built a little, like, companion building over here, and I had some idea of sort of connecting them together into one thing, but they were on different grids because I put a new foundation down when I made this one instead of trying to sort of gerrymander it around the rock here. So, as you can see, they're not lined up, so I can't just make a ceiling across this to that, so I ended up just building a couple of staircases so I could just conveniently run from one to the other. Yeah, the name just does describe. I named every one of these buildings. I have since this is the first one I did, this is one sandstone plaza because this whole place is, you know, now this is just like this massive complex, so I just want to just mark that one as where I started. This is Crocodile Rock because when I figured out how to do taxidermy, that's, you know, I started slapping crocodile heads everywhere. And this is where I had all my alchemy stuff and most of my serious crafting, like carpenter bench, armorer's bench, things like that. This was my first stove. This was my first, well, also there was, this wasn't always here. I used to have this big open area with a lot of workbenches in it scattered around this rock. And right now this is where I have a couple of had a couple of furnaces and benches. Actually, you know, I never actually used these particular things, so those, like, the only furnaces I really still use are the ones in the main building, so I'm gonna move the coal. I forgot that I had coal stockpiled over here, so I'm gonna move that. I've got a couple of fridges for berries out here. I have backup supply desert berries and highland berries for making dyes and for making certain recipes. This is the Pillar of Macking, which is a joke that will only make sense to an old friend of mine who I miss dearly and don't talk to anymore. But this is like this little like make-out area for the thralls, kind of. Like, I have, like, you know, incense and rugs and curtains in it, you know. Only thing missing is like a lava lamp, although I guess this thing sort of looks like one. And what else do I have here? This is my vault, which I made like kind of a bank building type thing. So yeah, if you could see that, that's my vault is in here. And throw my silver in there until I figure out what I want to do with it. If I come up here, there's some extra storage. I just threw a bunch of chests here because at some point I didn't have enough chests. And up here I have more fridges because I didn't have enough fridges. Back when the fish traps were like much easier to use, I think is where I stockpiled most of this fishy stuff. I have lots of honey glazed roast because I have 30 beehives and I have more honey than I know what to do with. A lot more meaty mash up here for same reasons. I just keep getting those same two types of meat, and I could throw a little storage chest or something in here. I have these little, like, under the stairs spaces. Actually, let me go up here to the roof. Because up here I have... See, since this actually is on the same foundation as that tower over there, it's like that Pillar of Macking thing I started... I realized my mistake from the other two buildings, so I built foundations across, like, this little wall over here. Those are my 30 beehives along the edge of that wall. And I started the bank foundation here, excuse me, so that when my bank was finished, I would be able to... Is this thing working or not? Sometimes you pull it the first time and it makes the noise, but it doesn't actually come. I would be able to put this nice little horizontal elevator here, which is what I did. So it gives me a nice... That's my map room up on the top, but I have... There's no direct way from here. I have to take those one of those two elevators up to get up to my map room. I used to have some chefs over here, but I don't really use this area much anymore. This was from my Yog altar back when I used to use the Yog altar a lot, because was my starting religion. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. You know, it's nice to be able to show it off to someone else. It's one of the reasons I really wanted to start streaming this, was that I sunk so many hours into slapping all this nonsense together. I have my Staff of the Triumvirate here, but I'm not going to activate it because that's like kind of story spoilers dialogue. Now, part of my idea for building this stupid pillar was that I had climbed this part of Shattered Bridge a couple of times and got up to the top. But I was like, why not build a tower and some staircases and stuff and just run up there? Or take an elevator up there or something like that. This is where I put my Jebel Sog altar. I went through that quest to get the Jebel Sog religion, so that's what I got here. And I got the priest too. Not the high priest, but I have one of the priests. The game remembers where it was, but the function resets it to its original position, so you have to double tap. Right. Oh, the elevator. Yes, correct. Yeah, I figured it was something like that. That's the only one you're missing. Yeah, that dungeon is... it's a miracle I made it through that dungeon, because I almost died so many times, and that was with... I was carrying as many, like, health potions and bandages as I could possibly have, and I had a tough... And me and my thrall both had epic armors, and my thrall was incredibly... Yeah, the last encounter is just... I don't know. I don't like that they kind of lock you in the boss arenas. I mean, I understand why, but it's just... Like, not being able to retreat if you realize that you got in over your head. You know, that's the part that aggravates me a little. Oh, this is just... Yeah, this is... If you remember that... When I finally got up here, it's like, you remember that secret area in Duke Nukem 3D that just had... You're not supposed to be here written on the wall, just, you know, like if you hacked up there by giving yourself a jetpack or something. It's kind of, yeah, that's a little in-joke I decided to throw in here. See, I can get directly up here by taking these elevators, or I can, I have ladders, like, internally I have ladders inside the tower, and I can also have these platforms outside the tower that with ladders and trapdoors that I can scoop down that way. And this is the area that remember when I started talking about getting those bullshit purges that would just teleport into places they're not supposed to be. Like, this is where about like 5 or 6 waves of it really tough undead would just start spawning right where I'm standing for some stupid reason. And that's why I started putting all these are all legacy thralls, I think. These are the like ones that don't level, because I had them from before the thrall leveling thing hit. So they're always going to be level 0, but I mean, you know, I figure if I'm going to lose a bunch of them, I may as well lose the legacy thralls. But, you know, having this happen one too many times was part of what motivated me to kill purges. You know, is to just turn the purges off. I put the siege cauldron here just for the journey step and never used it again. I could say the same thing of my siege engine over here, for that matter. I mean, this thing is here and it works, but there's... unless I just want to throw boulders at nothing, there's really not much to do with it in single player. See, I never dismantled any of this stuff, even the parts that are just totally pointless, because it's got a history, you know, and it kind of reminds me of how I got here. And that part is just... It's fun just running around this place sometimes, because I remember how, you know, how tiny this started out. I've got a bunch of stoves. I got a couple of tier 4 cooks here too. I've got Ricard the Baker, and I've got the Lone Fisherman from Separmero. Got a bunch of this is what, like, the noble clothing from Derketo, like, it looks like on male and female characters by default, unless you dye it to something else. They've also got silver jewelry on. Built mine near Darfari camp so I could kill something while getting the journey. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's one way to do it. You could just hurl boulders into the camp, I guess. If they actually made you have to, like, hit something with the catapult, that would be incredibly mean, though. If, like, imagine they required that for the journey step, that would be sadistic. I'm glad, you know, a lot of these challenges, they could be meaner than they were. I mean, in a certain sense, I've actually gotten over 100% of the journey, because there's like chapters 4 and 5 had like a step added and a step taken away, but I still have the step that they got rid of. So, you know, now my journey thing does this for some reason. And these are the last 2 that I don't have. I still can't believe that they never implemented this. It's got a huge AoE rate. That I didn't know. I thought you had to hit something directly with it. That's interesting. I have to try that out sometime. It'd just be fun for a laugh to see if I could build one like in the right place and like hit a dragon with it or something. That would be good for a laugh. Oh yeah, I was going to drop that coal off, wasn't I? Yeah, at some point I wanted to make more shaped wood, and I had a lot of coal, so I was like, why not just run my stoves off of coal and not... I'll just take all the wood and make it into shaped wood. The summoning place would be a great... Yeah, that would be a good target for that. I get a lot of good thralls from there. I got my my tier 4 alchemist. I got a lot of fun characters from that place. Oh yeah, I was gonna take that brimstone to my store metal farming base. But the alchemical base, I'm just gonna chuck it in there for now. Blood, I don't know what I'm doing with yet. I'll just leave it here. Throw my honey back in this thrall pot. Though I got all my tier 4 tier 4 alkies from there, although I got 1 or 2 from people farming Durketo priests later on. I didn't know that the Durketo priests could be, or the Durketo area, I didn't know they had alchemists in there. I've seen a couple over by the pirate area, like when I go to the Black Galleon, sometimes there's an alchemist up there, but usually not a tier 4 one, though. I remember really stupidly early in the game when I was like a baby character, I killed, I think, whatever his name is, the tier 4 alchemist, because I didn't understand why you would want to capture an alchemist, and I don't think I even had the tools to capture anyone yet, but I got, I got super lucky in the respect of getting him, but super unlucky in the respect that I had absolutely nothing I could do with him at that point. Oh yeah, I was gonna drop this meat, this rotten meat into my compost heap here. Just drop one here, one here. All right. And I was gonna look and see what I did with those stupid daggers. I feel like such an idiot for having. I don't know how long I've been running around that I don't have those. If I got into a tight spot where I really needed them, that would have been miserable. There they are. Look at that. Right where I left them. I must have dropped them in here for a minute to repair and then forgot to take them back. Well, mystery solved. At least I don't have to make new ones now. I might have too many orbs. This is all my other random crap that I don't know what to do with. Mostly for making steel fire. Carry on, ladies. Casting tables. Making my bikini armors. Armor's bench for making stuff that's actually practical. Oh, I got the, remember when they did that recent event where we got that, we unlocked that new armor set? This is like one of my favorite heavy armors now. Let me see. Get to be a, sexy barbarian cowgirl or something. Here, I'll show you. I dyed this. I made like the pink accents and stuff for mine, but I mean, check this out. Let me stand somewhere that you can kind of see it. Yeah. I dig this so much. This is a very nice set. And even got like the little like drinking horn thing on the hip too. Yeah, it was this. I don't think this was the Twitch drops. This was the one where they had a weekend that there was like a progress bar that however many creatures and NPCs that the entire community killed, like your total kills for the weekend would unlock it. Like they unlocked the 5 pieces of this outfit, and then the last piece was I know the Twitch drops thing you're talking about, but it was not the same thing. I think they were running those 2 events around the same time. It might even have been the same weekend, because I think it was one of the free-to-play weekends. And the last thing you dropped was like there was a new type of saddle for the horses. It like these ropes and everything, like the cool like saddle and bridle. Like this is from this set too. This was the 6th part that we unlocked. Yeah, I mean, if we're going to be honest about the kill count thing, I'm sure that they probably, they probably have a very good idea of it, since the game's always online, they probably have a very good idea of how often, how many kills players get per week, per hour and whatever on average. So I'm sure they calculated it that we were pretty much going to get it no matter what, unless everyone quit the game. They just made it close enough to look good, but I mean, but I think, it was still a cool idea for an event, though, the idea that you were contributing to unlocking it for the entire community, even though I'm sure that we probably weren't going to have too much trouble making it regardless. It's a nice idea, because it means everyone contributed. Probably give RP some good material to work with. Yeah, because, if you want to, if you always wanted this type of outfit, this is, it's a nice addition to the game. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, there's also, like most of the outfits like that, there's a base. I'm wearing the basic version, but there's an epic version with better stats. I think I have the epic version in the vault until I find a reason to need to use it, because I don't want to just lose it falling off a cliff somewhere or something. Actually, I might even just run around in this for now, because let me might put this aside until I need it later. Oh, you know what else I need to do? Actually, this needs to be repaired. I don't think I have enough silk yet, though. I think I ran low on silk because I wanted to put everyone in these outfits, and I made like a zillion Zath outfits, but forgot to put some silk aside so I can actually repair them on a regular basis. Cutlass and a flintlock. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Well, I have explosive arrows. It's the next best thing. I don't actually use ironhead arrows for anything except crafting certain other arrows, so I'm just going to drop that in there. Oh, I was making more shape to it again. Yeah, so this started out just more as an apartment building, just to see if I could build one. I have to show you the upper levels, because I actually did even go as far as making little apartments and whatever. Just run up the fire stairs here. And I do have an elevator outside that goes up to the roof, but I don't have elevators in here, unfortunately. But yeah, this is basically what the rooms look like. It's just, I paired off my artisans here, and they each have a double bed from the Drachetto set. So, it looks pretty classy. As the Conan world goes, this is basically the deluxe apartment in the sky here. And more or less every floor is the same as far as, you know, have my lighting and my the outside is lit here. And this goes all the way up to the roof if I go up and have some extra food storage. And up on here I have some... I have... which bench is this? Oh, this is my saddle maker's bench, yeah. Yeah, this was the... this was my standard saddles. This is the new one. Cordovan Tack and Saddle. That's the one I was showing you. That's the one that was... That was the last unlock from that weekend. Cordovan Tack and Saddle. That's the thing you're trying to build if you want to use the new one. Some outdoor dining over here. Some beacons so that I don't run off the edge of the roof in the dark. And this is where I grow stuff when I have seeds. This is my bedroll. I don't really use the bedroll while exploring. I just left this one here for decoration, and I have a couple of tents to shade cloths. So, you know, if I just want to, like, you know, just lay here and do some sunbathing or something. Here's my Orb of Nurgle, which used to be Vanity Mirror. This is how you change your appearance. I put a folding screen backdrop over here for this. You know, separate that off from the tents. If I want to be cheesy, I can actually... I realized after I built all this that I can actually get up to my map room this way, if I'm very careful not to fall. And I've got all my map destinations unlocked. Yeah, needs rooftop garden. Nope, I didn't forget the rooftop garden. You gotta have that. Usually the roof is where if I run out of room making a base, this is where I start throwing the you know, planters or beehives or whatever else I don't have room for on the lower levels. It does make it look nice. Like when I have this all sprouting berries or whatever, this looks really nice. I could build more of these, but I think they made these more expensive to build at some point in all these updates. That thing over there is kind of I love doing this. I love the movement in this game. They did such a nice job on that. A bunch of my guards over here. This is where I used to have a lot of my artisans, like this just little, like, sad-looking factory tower thing, because I kept capturing more of them than I knew what to do with, so I threw a bunch of artisan benches in here. This is the thing that has the horizontal elevator to the bank if I want to go that way. And this is just a... it's more fun to show you this from the bottom. This is my large well. You know, I don't know why they're like this, because there are no enemies here. And I think this is how sometimes I end up with thralls, like, falling through the floor and whatever. Because they should not be aggroing at anything unless maybe the neighbors from this little campfire over here got too close to the wall and startled everyone. And I've got my altar of Amir. I have one each of all the altars. It won't let you put them too close together for some reason. They move on their own sometimes. That annoys me. Yeah, it's a known issue with the follower AI right now. I've got my set altar. I don't use half of these altars for anything. I just wanted to have one of each. It was just one of those... It's like with the recipes. It was another one of those gotta catch 'em all situations. You know, I didn't feel like I'd really done everything until I got every religion and built every altar. I don't think I've ever upgraded most of these altars either. The only ones I've ever upgraded to max was I upgraded Yogg and summoned them so that I could do the Summon Your God journey step. And I upgraded Zath because I like some of the Zath recipes. Because Zath is really my main religion now. The rest of them I was like, meh. You know, I didn't really see anything that I needed that desperately that motivated me to make the effort. I don't know why I'm carrying salted berries everywhere. Should maybe take some of these, just take some of this fruit back, because I use this for healing a lot. Alright. And I've got dancers out the wazoo because I love dancers. I love just having a row of dancers just doing their thing when I come back for the base from somewhere. Really want a mod that adds an item you can put in their inventory that makes them unable to move. Yeah, I think it's not even, they're not supposed to be moving. I think it's just a glitch that they've yeah, I mean, if somebody could mod that somehow to just disable them from chasing stuff, so that you could just have archers that would just stay rooted to the spot, you know. But probably, like, right now, unless you're going to oh, I got my 2 saber-tooths I got from when you do that dungeon for the Jebelsag religion, there's a place with a couple of saber-tooth cubs, and I was very lucky that it was a little crazy of me to even try to collect them, because I was already struggling so bad in that area, and have to give up that much encumbrance was probably not smart, but somehow I made it home, and I have 2 saber-tooths now. Still need to max out Zath Altar and unlock Seg, then upgrade. Everything else is maxed. Nice job, nice job. Yeah, I mean, that might be the next thing that I start working on here, just to have something to do, is to just be nice to come back and see, like, all the different beacons, like, going up to the sky. I think the only one I have like that right now is Zath. Let me show you the Zath altar. At night, this thing looks amazing. Yeah. This thing looks like frickin' amazing from, like, across the river at night. Or from up there, like when I look down at my base and I see this thing. Wonderful. These are legacy followers also. These are my turtle army here. And I remember being, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I remember there being 8 of them, so did one of them fall through the floor, or did they wander all the way fucking over here? You know what, just stay there, I don't care. Yeah, see, this is exactly what we're talking about with the followers having, you know, getting the wanderlust. When I was doing my emo collecting, I found the name Zath Priest, and that's how I learned there was a new religion. Nice. Yeah, I think they might have moved him. I remember where he was, and I think they moved him somewhere else. And there is a place to get, there is a possible place to get Zath priests, like, also, that you can stick in the altar. I have one over here. I have Dancer of Zath in that, stuck in that altar right now. Although I think she's the lowest level one. No offense, but, you know. But she doesn't really give much of a bonus to the items you make here or anything. Oh, I got you now. Yeah, that's how the priest I'm talking about. She was named one at a Mitra shrine. Yeah, I think that's where I found her, actually. Is that I kept coming back to the Mitra shrine until I got lucky and she spawned over there. This is my Pit of Yog. when I have a good old-fashioned barbecue. See, my character was a Darfari cannibal, and started with the Yogg religion. And when I started thinking about her role-playing reasons for being exiled, I decided that she tried to introduce the concept of, quote, a balanced diet, unquote, to the Darfari cannibals, and it didn't go over too well because they just weren't ready for it. So they, you know, she was very respected before that, and then they kind of kicked her out after that. So, I mean, we're not saying give up eating people completely, you know, it's just like, you know, I mean, at least mix it up now and then, have Spaghetti Tuesdays or something. But no. That was a bridge too far, apparently. Mine is a picked cannibal. Nice. I haven't really made the Pictish sets too much. I know that I have. I know that they have sets for the picked armor. That there's light, medium, and heavy, and I know that there's a weapon set for them too. But I don't think I've really. The only one that I bothered with that much lately. I got tired of the default look of the Star Metal Warhammers and stuff, so I made the Tyrannian set, like from Treasures of Turan. And that's most of my weapons. I got the Tyrannian mace and the Tyrannian daggers. Now that I have my daggers back, I can show you what they look like. Yeah, these are the Tyrannian daggers. That's what they look like. Savage Lands DLC, yeah. Yeah, I forget which culture comes from which DLC all the time. Because I think I remember dropping money on Derketo, and then they had a big sale, and I remember just picking up the rest of them all at once, so I didn't like add them one at a time. So it's not like I was paying too much attention to what each one of them added. I also, as far as the tier 3 buildings, I've never tried to use like the Greek building pieces or anything like that, and I'm stuck. Wow, good job. Really, bro? Really? Okay, alright, I'm unstuck. You were a mount for a second there, my little friend. What are you doing? What are you even doing with your life? Alright. So now I have the opportunity to... I was still going to run this brimstone over to that base I was talking about where I farmed the star metal. I know, yeah, it's missing. You know, I wouldn't mind it in this game. I could just gallop around on this little character all day. I would be pretty happy with that. Well, it'd be totally nuts as if you could get the spider like from that cave across the river, like the boss spider. That would be a hilarious mount. It would also be terribly unbalanced, and its hitbox would be a mile wide, and you wouldn't really be able to squeeze through anything. I really hope they make dangerous waters a thing. I'm not sure what you mean there. You mean like have more underwater enemies, or... Because I know that right now there's basically like once... Well, I mean, I really think that the most ridiculous thing about this game is that when you're getting chased by crocodiles, you can just take to the water and you'll be fine. Which I'm pretty sure is not how that works. That's not how any of this works. It really shouldn't be a good thing to do. And you never actually run into them, like, lurking in the water. Yeah, that would be fun, but also they would have to refine underwater combat enough that it wasn't a total mess, and, Yeah. Yeah, things should attack and pursue you in water, but they don't. But I guess I think that might be deliberate, just so that when you're, you're level 1 on Noob River, that you can run away from things that you can't handle. At least, if you cross the river, you'll be fine. If you realize that you shouldn't have attacked something. But that's just, it's the whole video game logic thing. It's like, really, they have to cut some corners somewhere to give you a fighting chance sometimes. The star... Yeah, the base where I farm the star metal is... No, I don't want to reach it from there. I think I'd be better off going by Black Keep, and then, I don't have any warming food, do I? I should probably get some before I do this. Forgot that crucial little detail, or at least get something to warm me up. I don't remember where I left all my spice. I think my spiced food is over here. I have some spicy stuff to get me through this. Well, I could take one of these, I guess, but... I may just take a stack of these because I have too many of them, or one of these. I don't know. Let me take this. Oh yeah, don't I have glowing essence here somewhere? I do. Okay, supposedly you eat this, so... I don't know how much this helps. I guess we'll find out. By the way, I've not played this as much as you think. I've done a lot in the short amount of time I've played it. Yeah, I'm the opposite. It takes me forever to do anything in open world games in general. And this is the first time I've ever really gotten involved in a survival game. As far as survival games go, this is like this is the first one that interested me at all, because I've seen a lot of the other ones play. Like, I've seen 7 Days to Die, I've seen Ark, I've seen, stuff of that nature, but, like, none of it really grabbed me. Camel punching, I understand. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is, Yeah, I always liked the Conan universe, so I wanted to give this a shot. Yeah, I'm definitely glad I gave it a chance, because I've had a lot of good experiences with it. Alright, so since I have something to keep me warm now, I can go run. I'll be able to survive that, area that I need to go through. Crumb. Shame Crumb is a lazy bastard. The other gods are all rewarding us, but he's like, so? Yeah, I mean, that's consistent with the source material, I guess, in that Crom, well, the way they implemented Crom in this is that sort of if you just don't care that much about the religious elements, Okay, that's an interesting way to ride an elevator. That, you know, you don't have to pick one, just that you have to, for role-playing purposes, if you don't want to build altars and stuff, you know, that's the religion you pick. But I mean, he's sort of supposed to be like the god of stoicism or stoicism. You know, it's, you know, good luck, you're on your own, life is tough, deal with it. You know, that's basically Crom. So, you know, he's not the kind of person he's not the kind of god that you would, like, pray to for favors, you know. You basically just do your thing and he'll either respect you or he won't. There's actually like if you look for journals and like around the like in that swamp area with like Mounds of the Dead and like where you have all those like elevated huts that like in the swamp where like where you fight the Nordheimers, there's a journal you find somewhere where it's like someone, basically there was someone who was like a lady who's a Crom worshiper that she describes, like, you know, basically she talks about like why you don't pray to Crom, and it's kind of it's one of the more memorable parts, you know, one of the more memorable little notes you find in the game. I better eat this. There we go. I'm pretty sure that stupid terrain glitch is going to show up and it's going to annoy me like it does every time. I don't know if you've experienced this, but I've done like some of the climbable areas in particular. It seems like this usually happens when I'm doing a big climb up a cliff or something. But yeah, you see that little glitch that just happened? There is, like, depending on how I turn the camera, parts of this terrain will kind of appear or disappear, like some kind of level of detail glitch going on. And it didn't always happen. I really think it started, like, with one of the updates, like, a couple of months ago, and I would really love to see the end of it, but I can't figure out, if there's anything I can change about my configuration to stop that from happening. I can't figure it out yet. I'm still working on it. Someone the other night gave me a couple of hints I could look into, but it's not really been something I want to sit there all day and obsess over. LOD bugs are annoying. They're horrible in Fallout 4. Well, I haven't started Fallout 4, but I mean, a lot of there were some good and bad things about Fallout 4 from what I heard. You know, it's the nicest thing I think people could say now is that it's not Fallout 76, because that was a train wreck when that came out, and they still keep doing horrible things to it. All right, I might not be getting up this way. The thing I'm looking for is I'm trying to get back to Skyfall Ridge, and I think if I could get up here, it would be relatively easy to jog over there, but I forget which path I used to follow to get up here. It should be possible to climb at least one of these cliff faces, but I forget which one. BioWare and... yeah, that travesty. BioWare and Bethesda just keep crapping the bed and sleeping in it. Yeah. I mean, that... yeah, but that sums up AAA game development these days, doesn't it, though? It's just... you know, I mean, I shouldn't even laugh about it, because there's, like, you look at... I mean, you know, it's one thing when, like, a game releases bad with bugs, and then there's the kind of stuff that's going on at, like, Activision Blizzard right now, and I don't even want to talk about that because I don't want to make this an... it's not something to be talked about lightly, and I don't want to make this a super depressing stream. But there's a lot of bad things going on, and it's a damn shame. That's all I could really say about it. Yeah. Well, anyway. Anyway, I'm going to try to find a way up this stupid mountain. I don't know, I just can't remember what way I did it last time. Maybe if I come up this... I know this wasn't it, but I'm going to see if this was an alternate route, because I can't remember what I was doing. Just... yeah. Guess this is just climbing practice at this point. Alright. Had the LOD issue, but I have had the stamina issue where it randomly drains like you were super encumbered, and yeah, I don't know if they've, I'm assuming that you've updated the game to the current version, that you're up to date on the patches. But, I haven't run into that in a while, but also, I mean, since I've been playing solo, I don't know how often you play on, if you're talking about stuff happening on the public servers and whatnot, because I don't know how, there's some of the bugs that they seem to show up more in online than solo. Single player. Oh, well, that's a shame. I was actually starting to wonder if the level of detail thing was happening. I'm wondering if it was like, is my save corrupt? Have I overbuilt too much stuff, or is like the save just too glitchy from all the I was starting to wonder if my save somehow glitched out because I've been playing it in such an old version that maybe one of these updates broke something in the save file. And maybe that's why it's starting to act all weird now. So it's questionable if I would I still have the same glitches if I started a new world, but I'm not really interested in doing that right now. Climbing pretty well for someone more or less encumbered with heavy armor. Okay, that's a screenshot if ever I saw one. Also, I'm up here and I must have enough temperature protection from this that the cold isn't bothering me yet. Oh, here we go. Now, where was Skyfall Ridge from here? Alright, I know where this is. And... Outcast Camp. Alright, I think I got this. I think I more or less know where I'm going. I'm kind of careful up here because I know that if I go far enough west, you start running into saber-tooths and whatever, and fuck saber-tooths. They're the worst. Saber-tooths as followers are great. Running into them as anything else is miserable. Rather be taking the high road than go down that way and then maybe have to climb over something with no path to get up the cliff. I remember having to look up how to mine star metal. I eventually actually got that journey step kind of by accident because there's a very rare chance that the Nordheimers will drop like one piece of star metal ore, and I remember looting one of them and it's like, oh, you've mined star metal, and I'm like, I have? Because it just assumes that you must have got one from the falling meteors or falling star. So that's one way to get the journey step if you need it that bad. But that happens so very rarely, though, that you'd probably be better off just doing it the way you're supposed to, rather than killing Nordheimers all day. 9 out of 10 I get the journey from an enemy drop. Well, I mean, that's... yeah, there you go. That figures. Oh, no. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oof. That was a close one. Where am I? Dragon Math. I know where I am. Alright. Can I just please not get turned around for once, though? My sense of direction in these games is almost as good as my sense of direction in real life. The number of times I get turned around on these maps when I'm sure I was going in a straight line or close to it is just embarrassing. Is that like a boss elk or something? I remember there being one that actually has a skull on it. Is my follower here? Good. Where am I? Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm not climbing up that. I don't need to go that way. I hope my little buddy doesn't die because she's carrying all my brimstone. The only thing I need over at this, I have a small base set up that by Skyfall Ridge just for mining the meteors. And black ice is easy to get there, and star metal is easy to get there. The brimstone, not so much. Wish torches helped in the cold like an arc. Oh, yeah, I don't, I used to do that just because I didn't know if it helped or not. Like if I was starting to freeze, I would just whip the torch out. But I know that standing over a campfire or next to a furnace or something will do that. It will raise your temperature. Because I remember once I almost died of heat stroke at my base because I had something like 5 large campfires in that base I showed you by Shattered Bridge, and I'm like, why is my heat going up? Why am I, and just because I was cooking stuff in all 5 of them, and I was standing between them. Like, oh, that was smart. Because I didn't realize that it actually accounts for that. The lights just flickered over here, and I hope that wasn't a power problem. Also hope that wasn't my cable modem about to die. I think I'm getting relatively close. I'm almost there. There it is. Yeah, so I built I built a little shack up there with one stairway going down just to make it harder for enemies to access, and out of the back I've got this crazy angular staircase going up here so that I can run from the base up to about this point when I go to chase the meteors. So I don't have to climb up. I don't have to climb this area. I can just run up the stairs. I'm proud of this. This is pretty much the only time I ever used wedge foundations for anything. And it was just to get the angle of the stairs right, but it worked out. Pretty darn happy there. Let me go touch my bed. And now the thing I was delivering here was... Where's my follower? I am just going to park you in here for right now. And I'll take this. Alright. And I have most of my workbenches outside on this little walkway around the building. I parked my follower because I know they're going to jam me in here and I'm going to have to move them or whatever, trying to escape. This is where I need more brimstone. I could always get more black ice. That's not hard to get. It's all over this these mountaintops. Yeah, but this is where I chill out and wait for stars to fall. It's got a nice stove up here. Tanner's table, all the usual. Got a thing for making stone consolidant. I'd actually stick around and farm some if I get my two dancers, Laverne and Shirley. And I got Fonzie over here. Yeah, I don't have any railings on this. I don't think I even have railings as a skill, honestly. I think I usually, most of the time, I don't even have it unlocked. I think exactly the only place I have those the anti-climbing railings, like that you're really supposed to have around the edge of your roofs, is in that one part of Sandstone Plaza between the tower and the bank, where I have that row of beehives. The wall behind that has fences on it, and I basically dabbled in that once. Like I put them over there once, and then I just sort of never cared again about fences, because it seems like, since I'm not playing PvP and I don't need to stop other players from climbing over stuff, it seemed like kind of a waste. I mean, maybe that's why stuff spawns where it's not supposed to. Maybe if you have those around your roof, it doesn't spawn them on your roof. I don't know. I don't know if it actually respects that or not. But I've got, my little furnace area here. It's my first furnace, and then I built, as soon as I could make an improved one, I built the improved next to it. And that's usually what I do, is I usually just keep the original one instead of dismantling it, just so I have a backup. This room is not good for much except sitting here and waiting for stuff to smelt. And there's a bed for... This is my first bed before I made the second level. I've got some storage in here and also some food storage. Got some fridges. Oh, excuse me. I might save and wrap this up pretty soon because I've been up all night and I see the sun coming up. Oh, and over here I have my bedroom. I might actually just, now that I've got this little area to watch the, watch the meteor showers. It's nice. I would just save standing on the roof, but for some reason it's like it keeps falling me through the roof when I load back in and so on. All right, you know what? I think sports girls dancing in the snow. Yeah, I have. They should probably be. They're probably a little underdressed for the weather. Fortunately, nothing can happen to thralls when that because they're not subject to, the laws of the weather as like the rest of us humans are. Also, thank goodness they finally made them stop dying in lava because like they don't take damage from lava anymore, which is. A lot of people lost a lot of followers that way, and it was just stupid, infuriating because you can't really stop them from trying to run through it, and sometimes it would just yeah. Well, I mean they're real. Well, they're as real as anything else in this fictional video game. So I try to be nice to them. I try not to get them killed, and the game laughs at me and casts me out of Valhalla. So. Anyway, I think this is where I get off basically. So, thank you for hanging out. It's really nice to have at least I'm still a baby streamer here, so it's nice to have anybody here to talk to other than myself. Which not that that's not something I do when I'm not streaming anyway, but helps make the conversation a little more lively. Thank you very much for your support. Thanks for being here, and probably I don't have a regular schedule, but next time I'm around, I'll be around, and I'll probably be doing this again. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.